Hello, we're in round one of the $1 challenge standard against Ellmaris. I have won the die roll and will choose to go first. Hello and good luck as well. And this is an interesting hand. I mean, there's a lot of matchups in which this is bad, but without knowing it, I'll keep it because this is potentially a very good hand, actually. Since I have 6 lands, my opponent mulliganed to 5, so go ahead and lead off with Golgari because our only card is black. And I'm just going to go ahead and pass till their turn. Let's see, they're leading with a Dimir. I guess I'll play a Simic. Except that's actually a Selesnya, so. Alright. And I'll play a Gruul. So, potentially, I think they might be playing a mill deck of some kind. Think twice. Or they could just be playing black-blue control. Like a mill deck, something I hadn't actually considered. I mean, I suppose technically yeah, they're using Drown Yard. And Ratchet Bomb. Well, ultimately it's going to come down to whether or not they can mill away whatever. The guild gates I need to win. Which, if I keep drawing them, seems unlikely. Think they just realize what I'm doing. Nope, they're thinking twice instead of milling me. Wonder what they're considering. I mean, if they have a big beater, like a Miko Voss, something like that, that could be a problem. But except I have a handful of removals, so it's not really a problem. Plays out Maze's End. Am I getting Drown Yarded? Yes, I am. And we lost an Orzhov, which means that next time he activates Nefalius, I'm searching for an Orzhov. Actually, at the end of his turn, we're going to go ahead and find ourselves that Orzhov. Because there aren't a lot of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 of them in play, 2 of them in my hand. Alright, nothing. He blanked on hitting one of my lands. I guess, so I've got Dimir and Izzet in my hand. Golgari, Selesnya. We'll go ahead and grab a Simic. Let me draw a Simic, which is always nice. Alright, We'll go ahead and think twice. Hopefully he'll Psychic Strike me. Nope. Hey, I better drew my Azorius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh god, I'm only missing one. I'm good. And at the end of my turn, we're going to get Drown Yarded. We'll let him resolve the Drown Yard. Doesn't hit anything important. And we're going to discard a War Leader's Helix. And the only one I need is Rakdos, and then I'm good unless he has discard, but there are very few discard spells that'll actually catch land, so... This is actually going to be a very boring game. I apologize, because there's just... He Drown Yards me. He Drown Yards me again. And I'm going to discard Sever the Bloodline. Alright, do I have an Is It still in my deck? Yeah, I think I can just win the game. And that is possibly the most boring game of Magic I've ever seen. Alright. Elixir of Immortality is actually a strong card in here. But a lot of my spells are less strong, like War Leader's Helix. We'll get rid of Tribute to Hunger. We'll bring in our 4 Psychic Strikes. We're going to bring in our alternate victory conditions. And we'll go ahead and submit our deck. And this is one of those scenarios I hadn't actually thought about, which I should have. The decks do exist. I mean, they're not an uncommon thing. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this, because I have a turn 3 Crackling Perimeter, if I can resolve it. Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle's a strong effect. I mean, I do have like 8 cards in my deck that remove it, but Chosen Maze's End. I mean, that can be that could be a game winner. What does he reveal? A Dissipate. Also a powerful effect. Man. Well, let's see if he taps out again. Take 1. Another Augur. Opportunity. Like a poor man's Sphinx. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and play out our Crackling Perimeter. and say done. It's like a 4-turn clock, I think. Just going to go ahead and think twice. Do I want to make him remove a creature? Not really. I think I'd rather just do the 3. He's digging for something, so I should maybe be worried, but... wonder how many things he has that actually remove it. Black-blue, I mean, he's got to get like a boomerang, I think. He's really digging for something that helps him get out of this situation. I guess I'll far him. Oh, sorry. I'll away him because there's very little reason. I mean, technically a 3, 4, he's at 20. 3, 7, 11. Yeah, it's actually, this turn is I can blank without actually being too bad. And then I just... suppose I play my Ceruli to force him to... and I gain my 7 life. And now he's on a much faster clock. Well, he's on the same clock he was on before, but now he's on 4 turns. Yeah, it's going to be 5, 6, 7. It's not actually faster. Though he might just be digging for black mana. Well, he found a Drown Yard, which is not black mana. Well, I'm done with my turn. I'm not going to attack. These 2 amazingly offensive creatures. You got the Augur Bolus versus Ceruli Gatekeeper. It's like, well, 1/3 versus... that's a lot of nothing. He got his black mana. Bet you he's really wishing he'd... that Pithy Needle was not saying Maze's End right now, that he hadn't been like, I'm going to sneak it out. He's going to draw 4 cards. That's fine. I don't know. I wonder what his actual answer he's digging for is. But he is digging like crazy. I mean, he's only got like 2 more turns. So, he cast Forbidden Alchemy. And what did he... oh, I don't actually see what he put in his hand. That's right. What did he put in his hand? I mean, what are his outs at this point? I mean, another Pithy Needle is really his outs. And I imagine that's what he's looking for. Well, if he drew that extra Pithy Needle, or if he draws it, I should say, I'm going to have trouble. He tributed to hunger me. I'll sacrifice my guy to gain 4 life. He gets the Nighthawk. Resolves. I take my my beating, and this game's over. What if he's just debating about conceding? Don't know. Like, yeah. I imagine this is frustrating. Alright, and he scoops. So, that was round 1 against Dimir Mill, which this deck is probably about as well positioned to beat Dimir Mill as you can be. It's just sort of like, well, you don't interact with my victory condition, and your victory condition's slower than mine. So that was round 1. Hope you enjoyed it. I didn't. It's actually was a very boring match. Hopefully the Ellmaris will have better luck in the next rounds, and hopefully you'll watch those next rounds. Well, you'll watch me in the next rounds, but